Hello, everybody, and welcome to my first ever YouTube Live. And my YouTube Live, the reason I'm starting to do YouTube Lives is so everybody that enjoys my videos, or even those who don't enjoy my videos, can still come to a place where we can talk stocks, the market, video games. We can talk about money. We can talk about finances, conspiracies. We can talk about the Great Reset. Just a nice collective place, of course, in a respectable place. Where we can just talk, have fun. So that is why I'm going to start doing YouTube live streams. They will be happening once a month, once a week, once every 2 weeks. There won't be a set schedule. It will just happen. But I will definitely make an announcement, such as I'll mention it in my previous video, such as saying, like what I did with this one, such as saying, hey, tomorrow I will be going on YouTube Live and so on and so on, and the time. So make sure you subscribe and check that out. That will be so awesome. And of course, I've only been on YouTube for a couple of months now. And all I can say, it's honestly been a great, great journey. The past couple of months has really shown me the backgrounds and the behind the scenes of what YouTube is like, what these social media apps are like, what these social media companies are like, and so on. And not only that, but it has expanded my horizon as well while talking to subscribers, viewers, and even others that I was able to network through YouTube, other YouTubers, people who like finance, and so on. So I am very grateful to be on YouTube, and I will continue pushing videos on YouTube, and maybe one day there will be another platform that comes out, and I will, of course, make that next transition as well. Um, and I'm not sure if many of you know, but if you do, YouTube is coming out with YouTube Shorts. So instead of having the camera this way, so full screen, it will be a vertical, kind of like a strip. And it will be about, I believe, 10, 15, 30 seconds maximum, kind of like short little clips. And I will also be utilizing that to do little updates. So I might decide to wake up one morning, see something happening in the market, or see something happening in finance, or anything that's happening in the world. And I might jump on shorts and say, hey, everybody, this is what's going on, and just give you maybe some opinion of mine or some tip of mine. So subscribe, and you can definitely be up to date with my shorts as well. Um, so a question from my Discord. Okay, so the question is, how did I get into all of this? How did I get into stocks, finance, money, and so on? So for those of you who've watched my previous video, um, the one that labeled Investing 101, how to start investing, I mentioned in that video that I literally had no zero 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 knowledge of financial education, financial literacy, any of that sort. So because of that, I just kind of did what everybody did, right? You work, save money in a bank, and move on with your life, right? You save for your next big goal. Maybe it's buying a car, maybe it's buying a house, maybe it's saving for a wedding or saving for school or whatever you're saving for. So I did not even know that you can buy money, meaning you can buy stocks that pay you a dividend. So it's kind of like buying money. And so when I learned this concept, I was floored. I was like, wow, I can actually make money by buying it. Wow. So I learned this, obviously. I mentioned this many times, in university. And when I learned it in university, it was a very, very great experience. I had a few friends who were in finance and accounting. So I kind of just saw what they did with their money and saw what they did with their um, savings and their investments. And I didn't invest in university, however, of course, broke university student. But after I graduated, after I got some stability financially, career wise, life wise, and everything else wise, I decided, hey, maybe I should look into this and see. Maybe I should invest and learn about it. So I spent a solid maybe 3 to 4 months just studying the market. So I studied the market, studied how to invest, platforms, all of that. And that was an inspiration, or not an inspiration, but it was kind of like a spark that a certain YouTuber, I'm not going to say the name, but a certain YouTuber that I was watching years ago was just talking about it and just kind of sparked it. And I jumped in. And once I jumped in, I never looked back. I never saw money the same way. I pretty much started living my life with ROIs, meaning return on investment. So if I bought something, for example, if I bought a, I don't know, let's say a t-shirt, and I bought it for $10, I'm going to be calculating, is this $10 going to give me a better investment on this or a good investment on this shirt? So am I going to be able to wear it many times? Is it going to last long? Is it going to still be kind of current and trendy? Or is it one of those items that I'm going to buy and wear once or twice? So everything around me has become an ROI, which is good, but at the same time, it has its negatives. But it really does change your life once you start taking financial control. And so that is my goal at the end of the day, is to help anybody and everybody achieve their financial goals, and of course to learn um, other ways of making money instead of us always working for money. Hey, why not for a change make money work for us, right? Okay, I have another question. Hmm. Why don't I put up financial graphs and charts and all of that stuff, and all you do is talk? Great. So other than talking, I do put up some awesome memes and pictures and jokes. But the main reason I don't put up analysis charts, technical charts, and all of that is because everybody has their own way of studying the market. Everybody has their own way of looking at the market. Um, I'm not saying that my way isn't going to work for you, but I am going to say that my way works for me. And if I start telling you what to do, what to like, buy at this point, drop here, this, if I do all of that and tell you all of this, then it is not a world that I'm comfortable doing. And I do not want to lead anybody astray, because the way my brain works is I can see a number, I can see financials, and boom, 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 I can pick it up. However, if I'm trying to teach that to someone, I will not do justice. I will just mess it all up. So what I can say is I'm a horrible, horrible teacher when it comes to analyzing graphs and technicals, teaching others. But if I look at it myself, I know exactly what I'm looking at. It's kind of like, when you're watching a movie, or it's like kind of like that character, like for example Goodwill Hunting, you see that character who just looks at an equation or a sequence of numbers, and they just pick it up and boom, they got it. So that's how I am when it comes to looking at charts and financials. I can pick it up, boom, 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 but me trying to explain it, like I can explain it, but me doing justice explaining it, I wouldn't want to do that to any of my viewers, subscribers, or anybody that wants any of my opinions. So I stick to talking about um of course they're important as well, but I talk about all the other things that nobody else talks about. Because if I'm not talking about technical analysis, because there's hundreds of other YouTubers talking about technical analysis, then what about the YouTubers who are not talking about the technical analysis and are talking about things such as their marketing initiatives, their global initiatives, their customer initiatives, their environmental initiatives, and so on? So what about all the other things that make a company? A company is not only based on numbers, financials, and red here, green here. No, it's all about the people, the customers, the laws and rules and regulations of the country that they're in, or the state that they're in. So there's a whole bunch of factors. So instead of me just jumping into a pool of other technical analysis YouTubers, I am taking a different approach and staying back away from the numbers, and not numbers, but the technical details of numbers and so on, and the financials, and relying more on the other parts. Because I know for a fact, and I do this all the time, obviously, we're not just watching one YouTuber or listening to one expert. So if I can give you something different from everybody else, then that not only makes me stand out, but two, you will appreciate it even more, because you will now say, wow, I did not know about that. So that is my treat, my gift, my, I guess, purpose of being on YouTube, is to show you the other parts of um, investing. And investing is not only stocks. However, I would like to focus on stocks because, and yes, I have done real estate. I do have real estate investments and so on. But I like to stick to stocks because it is much easier, much more basic, much more simple, much more liquid, much more accessible to the average person. So, for example, if I wanted to invest in real estate, I can't invest with $100. if I wanted to invest in a business, I can't just give them $100 and say I own 0.05% now. No. So the closest thing for me as an average person to invest is the stock market. I put in $10. Maybe in a year it turns into $14. But guess what? It still made something. Now, if I exponentially increase that, instead of investing $10, I invest $100. Maybe that $100 now turns into $140. What if I do that the following year and exponentially increase it to now investing 1,000, and so on? So the bigger you invest, the more you invest, the more you receive in return. But remember, do not invest based on the speculations, the hype, and all of that. And yes, I know it is fun, and that is what this year has caused us to do. The Rona has caused, of course, sports and betting and gambling to shut down. So the next best thing was stock market. And that's why, for those of you who have been investing for years, maybe a year or two, you will see that this year was no other, it was like no other year. Not only did it crash in March, but throughout the rest of the year, you just saw random stocks, random companies just pop up out of nowhere and just explode. And so, and they weren't just regular companies too. Some of them were unknown penny stocks that went from a few pennies in, say, April to now sitting at about $5, $6. And then you have, of course, Tesla and Microsoft and Facebook and the big guys who, do what they do to get where they need to get to. So they've had incredible years as well. But it's just odd to see that now stock market is so accessible. You can get it on your phone, anything, that as long as you're 18 in some places, or 19 in some places, or 21 in some places, and you have a piece of technology, boom, you're an investor now. So what I've been saying all year is, for me, it's new because I've always been a stable dividend investor. And this year, obviously, my shares or my stocks went down due to the crash. But when they came back up, there were all these other stocks that not reliable, no financial, sheet, barely any history, but somehow overvalued than all these strong dividend stable companies who've been around for decades, some even over a century. So when we're looking at these fluctuations, we cannot just jump into it thinking we're going to hold long term. No, we're going to jump into it, ride the wave, and jump back out. And so if you watch my previous video, The Great Reset, which actually leads me to this part, all of 2021, I will be a swing trader. Yep. Strictly swing trade. Well, I'm gonna invest in my dividends, of course, in my stable, strong companies. 50% allocated to that, and then the other 50% will be allocated to my penny stocks, my speculative stocks, and so on. And the reason I'm doing that is, one, I've opened up a Wealthsimple trade this year, and once I opened it up, I honestly felt so relieved. I felt like I was out of shackles, out of the commission shackles, because there have been so many stocks, so many moves that I wanted to make through my QuestTrade, but because of the commission fee, it was not possible. So I could not buy, say, for example, $100 worth of something at 10 a.m. and try to sell it by 3:30 to make a, say, for example, $50 gain, just to have to pay, $5, right? Or what if your gain for the day was only $10? Now that just cut into 50% of your profits. Or what if it was $20? That just cut into 25% of your profits. So the commission does add up eventually if you're the type of person. Oh wait, sorry, not just $5, it's $10, because remember, you're buying and selling. So five. Okay, so it's $10. So it does add up. I know if you're spending about $1,000, $2,000 on a purchase, then $10 doesn't matter. But if you're trying to spend $200-$300 here, 1-2-3 days later, try to come back out, $10, it will eventually eat into your profits. So once I open up my Wealthsimple trade, which, by the way, you can get the links in the description box below, for both Questrade and Wealthsimple Trade. If you're a Questrade person, it has all the market research, all the bells and whistles. So if you're more of a veteran, expert investor, long-term investor, Questrade definitely, and plus Questrade is open to all the exchanges, has all the markets, all the exchanges, and it has almost every stock that's listed. Whereas Wealthsimple has zero commission trade, so that's what it's got going for it. It's got zero commission trade. However, it's not listed. It doesn't have all the listings of every share stock, and it does not have all the exchanges. So Wealthsimple is $0 commission free. Questrade is more an overall tool for everything. So Questrade is where I love to keep my awesome strong stocks stocks because it's a reliable company. I'm not selling. So if I do sell, it will be down the road. Whereas my Wealthsimple, because it's $0 commission fee, I am able to jump in, out, in, out, in, out. And that is what I'll be doing in 2021. Because of what I've seen in 2020 with all the craziness, of fluctuations. And plus I know the markets really well. I know the trends. I see what's going on. I look at the what the kids, and when I say kids, I mean legal traders. The young legal traders, the fresh ones. The Robin Hood, the Wealthsimple Trade people. So when they start jumping in and they start buying the Teslas and buying these cool video game esport ETFs, and when they start buying companies that they relate to, I relate to them too because I play video games and all of that. And I'm like a grown up. I'm like a grown kid. But when looking at those, I need my Wealthsimple trade to jump in and out. Okay, so for example, if there's a like this holiday season was a perfect timing when the new generation, the next generation consoles came out. Many of the video game shares were kind of at average level, slowly rising out of, well, they're already at all-time highs due to the Rona, but they did drop again. But then they went right back up with the holiday season. So knowing that drop, I would have bought and then boom, got it back in, sold it right off. So making kind of moves is my goal for 2021 because there will be a lot of changes. As I said in the Great Reset video, out with the old, in with the new. Everything will be digital, everything will be technology based, and everything will be awesome. Okay. So I have a question, another one from my Discord. Will the Great Reset be the way you said it be? Yes. So everything that I put in my YouTube videos that I post are verified, double checked, fact checked. The only time it is not is when I specifically stay in my opinion or this is my opinion and so on and so on. But everything else has been gone from public records, websites, not in books. Well, if you do want to read a book, the Fourth Revolution, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, excellent book by Schwab, very excellent book. He's actually one of the guys who was speaking at the World Economic Forum talking about this great reset. So yes, I do think that there will be a lot of changes when it comes to financials, economics, socially as well. But as long as your money is in strong companies, I don't think you should worry about bankruptcies. For example, one of my strongest companies, Coca-Cola. I mean, I don't see it for in the future being bankrupt. I just don't. It's a global brand. No, even though they have millions of competitors, other beverage competitors, they are still reigning supreme. I know AT&T is going through some major debt restructuring. Excellent. That's why the prices have dropped. Excellent. That's why the prices have dropped. Excellent. Keep restructuring. I'm not trying to sell AT&T tomorrow. I'm not trying to sell AT&T next year. I'm holding on. So if their price has to take a sacrifice, if their dividend has to take a sacrifice for them to restructure and then get back to where they need to get back to in 2 years instead of 5 or 10 years, then you know what? I'll take that 2-year sacrifice so we can get there in 2 years. So AT&T is not going anywhere. They are a global brand. So these companies are excellent companies to invest in. And plus, they are dirt cheap right now. Companies to be very wary of are, of course, the penny stocks and speculative stocks. You will lose a lot of money, but you'll also make a lot of money. And of course, that is our goal. So I will be putting in, uh, making a list of all the stocks, of course, ongoing on my YouTube. So you can follow along all my penny stocks, my speculative stocks, things that I'm selling today, things that I'm buying tomorrow, and so on and so on. So please subscribe so you can follow me on this awesome journey and on this awesome trip of making money. Okay. Um, Let me see if there's any more questions. I know it's almost noon and many of you have to go eat because it is Christmas Day, and I do too. And plus, there's a whole bunch of awesome stuff to watch on television and Netflix. So if you're with your family and friends, I hope you awesomely enjoy that. Um, yeah. So I don't want to hold you guys up. Those of you who are on Discord, awesome. Thank you very much for joining in. For those of you who are on YouTube, awesome. Thank you for joining in. So when we are so when we are discussing penny stocks, you can't always just run with the hype. And the reason I say don't run with the hype is, let's look at Plant X. Plant X went from a few cents, under a dollar, went all the way up to almost $2, and then went back down to about a dollar again, and just slowly on the teeter totter. So companies like that, heavy speculation. Please look into companies. I've gotten messages on YouTube and Discord and other places where they're just going strictly financials. Strictly financial. They don't care about the CEO. They don't care about the team. They don't care about policies, laws, and regulations. They just care about the hype. I'm okay with that. Jump on it, because I'm going to be doing that all year. So follow me on my 2021 journey of jumping on hypes, following the hype, making hypes, and we can all make it together through. Okay. So please subscribe. I will be posting new information on MindMed, New Me, PlantX, my penny stocks, anything, the Great Reset. This YouTube adventure, this YouTube journey for me is encompassing of a lot of sectors, a lot of information that I would love to share, that I would love for you all to share as well. Okay. So until the next time, please make sure you enjoy your awesome holidays. Monday, the market is open, but I do not believe the Canadian one is open. So please make sure you double check. If you're Canadian, double check. American, yes, the American Stock Exchange is open on Monday. Yeah, so thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon. So let's take this journey of 2021